All right, so let's go ahead and continue from the last video. So we have now 5 divided by 3 minus the square root of 2. So now once we have multiple terms in our denominator with the radical, we need to multiply by its conjugate, which is we write the exact same two terms, but now the opposite sign, and whatever sign is in front of our radical, we change it to the opposite. So it becomes 3 plus the square root of 2. So then we will distribute this 5 in, so it becomes 15 plus 5 times the square root of 2. And the good thing here is we create a difference of squares. So all we need to do is just square the first number. So 3 squared is equal to 9. So it becomes 9. And the square root of 2 squared is equal to 2. And since the square root of 2 had the sign that changed, so positive and minus becomes 9 minus 2. So our final answer is equal to 15 plus 5 times the square root of 2 over top of 7. And nothing can reduce, so that is it. All right, now we're down to the last question from here. All right, now we're down to the last question from here. 4 minus the square root of 2 over top of 2 plus the square root of 2. So once again, we have multiple terms with a radical, so we need to multiply by its conjugate, which is 2 minus the square root of 2. It's the exact same two terms, but the radical changes its sign. And whenever we multiply to the denominator, we have to multiply to the numerator. So now we will need to FOIL this numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative root 2 is minus 4 root 2. Negative root 2 times 2 is minus 2 root 2. And negative root 2 times a negative root 2 is plus 2. And now we'll just simplify, or let's do this over top of our radical. So 2 squared is equal to 4. Square root of 2 squared is equal to 2. So it's 4 minus 2 because the square root of 2 was the one that changed its sign. So that's why it needs to be negative. So then let's simplify. 8 plus 2 is 10. Minus 6 root 2 all over top of 2. And since 10 and 6 are both divisible by 2, we will reduce it. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. And that will be your final answer. All right, that is it for your dividing radicals.